Hey, what's happening? It's Jamie. I'm just doing a quick video here, November 2nd, about things from the previous day as we go through this week here in the new month, closing out the year. First, I want to talk quickly about some of these options in Robinhood. Again, I'm just a middle-aged guy, father of four, working guy who just shares some of his plays for conversation, right? And things that I'm doing, trading ideas with some people I know and some new people. So here you can see pre-market from, like, I took a screenshot over here. So yesterday, let me get myself out of the way here. VUZI, I was at $10 profit. And what I said was, from what I looked at, I thought it would go up to around 20, right? Give or take, maybe higher, right? But so teens or 20s, low to mid 20s, high teens is where I think it's going to end up, according to my thesis, analysis, whatever you want to call it. So there's something called conviction plays or conviction trades, and I looked it up. It basically means it's just a strong opinion, something that you believe is going to happen, even if it doesn't feel that way, even if it doesn't necessarily look like that when you look at where you're at today. And meaning yesterday. So yesterday, VUZI, which I have over a year for it to expire, I'm like, hey, I think this thing will get up. All right. And then at some point in the day, it went up to 115 bucks. And then it went up to 165 bucks. These are just screenshots. And then it went up to 275 bucks. And pre-market now, I think that's it. Pre-market now, I think it was in around $14, $15. I think it went up to $16. So that could come back down, right? But I was showing this to a couple guys I work with. We were talking, younger guys, and we were talking about trading ideas, and they had some questions of things that I learned, and I was just sharing with them. And I was talking about conviction trades, and whether it's holding a stock, a cryptocurrency, an option play, whatever it might be, you might say, I think this is going to, my price target is here. And it may not, but probabilities, I think that this will do that. So he said, why don't you lock in the 275, Jamie? And I said, well, the reason is, normally I'm looking for 20 to 40%. And I lock it in and play it again. In this case, I have a year out. I mean, let's call it was a $400 cost to me to have this one contract, right? I don't have 10 or 100. I just have one contract. So if I'm like, according to what I see, oops, wrong one. What I see in VUZI, if you go to the chart, is that, let me get back. Sorry, guys. Hold on one second. Go to a daily. All right. You can see a huge green candle there. At one point, I was trading this before, when it was, back where it was, before it went to 32. I was trading it back in this area here when it was in the high teens, right? And I was trading it there. Swing trading it. And then, it went all the way up to 32 and then started to break down. And now, and that RSI there at the bottom, you could see it's pretty much hit that that 30 relative strength index a couple times. So I was like, hey, it's due for a correction. I mean, it seems like this is a pretty good company if you do your own research. I was like, all right, this seems like it's hit this. You can see where my lines are, and it seems like that has been previous support. So let's see if it holds there, and I'm willing to get in there. And again, only for $400, just saying, hey, I'll do a year contract. Because do I think it's going to go all the way back up to 30, 32 previous highs, all-time highs? I don't know. But I think it should at least get to, this $20 range, because there's some support there previously. So that's my target, is to get in that range. So I would be shortchanging myself now because I have a $10 call to sell it today, where I think I can get to 20, right? Or 18 or 22 or somewhere in that range over the next coming weeks or months. So until I want to see a 200% return, meaning I want to make a profit of $800, I'm going to hold out because I think I'd be leaving money on the table. All right, again, I could be wrong. That's just the way I'm playing it, and I don't always play every single stock that I get into or cryptocurrency the same way. But on this one, that's my conviction play. I mean, I think that's what's going to happen. So I will point out on this one that the previous support was around $14, $13.80, right? So that's where it's at, and it's already gone past that. If you go to I think it's let's say a 15-minute candle. Like you can see it went up to almost $16. So it already surpassed that. Now it's kind of going sideways here in the pre-market. So we'll see if it goes back down or continues up towards 20. So that's my hope, because if I can make a $800 gain, $800 profit, which is 200%, I believe it'd be 200% on VUZI. That's a nice little return. Okay. And some I'm trying to make $50, a couple $100, and just keep putting it in the bucket. And again, my goal for let's say this account, this platform is Robinhood, is to get back to 10, right? And then usually I'll take some money out, but I'm not sure. Once I get to 10, I just want to say, oh, look, there's the 10, and what do you want to do from here? So, and you could start with $500, which is where I originally started with a couple years ago. And you can build it up as you learn, and you can make mistakes, but you learn from other people, and most of the stuff that I've learned is through other people, and then implementing and practicing it. But anyway, that's something I wanted to show you. So I was back down to 3,100 or so, and pre-market today I think I'm around 3,600, give or take a few dollars. And again, that could go back down, or it could go way over $4,000, right? So it just depends on what these other ones are doing. And then I'm going to kind of just tell you what my plan is for the day. So right now it's just under $3,600. So of all those, we'll see what happens with Snap and Pinterest, because those are the ones, and AVIR, which is, to me, is, we'll see what happens. I did open a position with Volta. It was cheap. It was like $60 or something. And I've been hearing good things about Volta, so it was $65. Now, that's a real short-term one. It's only until the 19th, but I was like, hey, $65. I'll take a shot. I'm up 15. I was up $25, so I was just like, all right. So that could be something I'll play more long-term, which I think I'm going to after I kind of rotate the money that's here, because I don't want to keep adding. I like to kind of like work with what I have in there, take the profits, reinvest, and kind of grow it from there. So Volta is on my radar for a bigger call. And then Activision I probably will get back into for a longer one. That was the other one I was going to tell you about. I don't have it here. I think I have it in Webull. So there's one, it's called CHGG. All right. So I don't know. It's a Chinese company. Somebody sent me a notification about it, and I was checking it out. But you can find out all the details yourself, whatever platform you use to kind of see what you want to do. So 17 analysts, they're all rating it buy, strong buy. A couple say hold, a couple say underperforming. But you can see those targets. I mean, it's well under the target. It just had a big dump here yesterday. It was right in the 60s and went all the way down, looks like to around $40. And last night it was around 45. So pre-market now it's at 40, 41, and it's well below the relative strength. So I look at that stuff as like, hey, this is a possible opportunity. If I look into a little bit more to grab some and see if that will correct, the opportunity there to correct. And the reason I say that is, when you look at those indicators below, again, I use the relative strength in this a lot. You can see where it's, I just hit it off. Hang on. Sorry. It's past. There it is. All right, so relative strength index, you can see where it dropped below the 30 several times. Now, if I try to draw, that's what I was trying to do. You can see there, way down there, right? And each time it, goes back up. May not skyrocket up, but it does. When it hits that 30, it generally will at some point go back up. And it may only go up a little bit. But to me, that was a massive, drop there from 60, between 60 and $63 or so down to 40. So there's some room there to make some profit going back up. So you could grab an option, you could grab a couple shares, and and set a target. I'm going to definitely get into this if I can first thing in the morning, meaning in an hour as I do this. It's around 8:30, but this is something I'm looking at, and I'll probably do it in one of my other accounts because I don't want to really, unless VUZI hits my target first thing in the morning, which it could. If I can make the $800 to $1,000 with VUZI, I'll sell that one and I'll just buy it right in there. Otherwise, I'll go into one of my other platforms and grab a contract or shares. I think I would probably buy maybe 50 to 100 shares, depending how much it is at that point. As I think there's a couple bucks there at least where it goes up. Now it could go further down, but this is something on my radar that I'm watching. And other than in cryptocurrencies, again, I use Coinbase and Crypto.com. There's a lot of other platforms that you can use. I was mentioning to a friend of mine about a company called Mana, which has to do with that metaverse. It has to do with Facebook changing their name to Meta and how they're going into that. So I did buy some of those tokens late. I got them around $2.70, I believe. And I only got like 300 tokens. But, it was at one point it was under $1. But I think it's still going to go over $4 or $5, from what I can see. So there's some opportunity there. So I'm always looking for the opportunities to come up. And the more you scale, for me, I'm kind of spread out. So I'm just trying to I'm going to hit on some, I'm going to lose on others, but I'm still trying to come up overall each week and keep building each account. So again, my goal in Robinhood is to show you guys 10 grand, hopefully by the year end, that'd be great. And Coinbase, I'll probably show you the same. I think it's good to hold some type of cryptocurrencies or some stocks long term. That's kind of my game plan over the next 10 years. Now, some of these guys that I talk to are 18 years old, 26 years old. So in 10 years, they're only going to be 28 to 36, right? So he or she has so much more upside. Time is on their side, and so many things are happening. But this is a great time, I think, for us, and some of my friends that are 40-something, 50-something, even 60-something. There's still opportunity, there to be excited about, to get involved. But anyway, that's my share for the morning. 13 minutes. I seem to be keeping that. I'm trying to get it down at 10 or less, but I'll get there. All right, guys, have a great Tuesday. See you later.